Hello and welcome back to Skills Pays Bills Boxing, back with another video, this time recapping Chantelle Cameron's crowning moment, becoming the WBC Super Lightweight Champion of the world after defeating the undefeated Brazilian Araujo over 10 rounds unanimously in a very comfortable, as easy as you could get, world title fight in your first legit alphabet world title fight. I mean, she boxed well. She boxed well, and I'll give her a lot of credit for sticking to a game plan. You could see it was difficult for her. You could see that she was, as Matt Macklin said, giddy. I think at times she was trying to a little bit snatchy because she was boxing to orders. But anyone who's watched Chantelle's box, and I have for quite a few years, on the undercards of the McGuigan shows and stuff, and the MTK shows, you see she's someone that likes to fight. She likes to get in the pocket. She likes to work to the body. And this time she had to be a little bit more disciplined. And I thought her jab was good. I thought she maintained the range well. Her lateral movement was solid. She was able to get in and out against a fighter who I want to touch on a few things here. First and foremost, her tits are nearly falling out of her top. It's an embarrassment to the sport, let alone to the female game that has improved. And I'm one of its biggest critics. But it's embarrassing for these girls. Chantelle's worked double hard, and look, Araujo, it could be a financial thing. We know these ladies from the foreign shores are not earning a lot and stuff, and they're coming here to earn. But it's stuff like that. We've seen it over the years with the African fighters coming here. We saw it with Anthony Fowler not too long ago with one of his opponents with his boots. It's the fact that we've still got fighters coming over who are not who are ill prepared, and it's a shame. And the thing is, it's a consistent theme with the women's game, and it's really sad. It's really sad because that was Chantelle's moment. She boxed well. She deserved more than that. To box in front of no one's hard enough, let alone an opponent that can't win the belt because she's 5 pounds overweight. And you could see she was carrying extra poundage. Water retention, yes. Was she prepared anyway before boarding the flight? Probably not. COVID, Brazil. It doesn't add up to someone that came here, really with realistic expectations and ambitions of winning the world title. But it's just frustrating because Chantelle and these young ladies are fighting and they're training hard. And yes, they do have that advantage, Team GB background, professional sponsorships and stuff. So I have to be fair. But it is frustrating when you see women come over and then someone worked hard, fights, this is their big moment, and the person's turned up in a mess. But what I will say, Araujo was a good fighter. She didn't perform she didn't perform well last night. But what I will say, there was a few things. When she came out centre ring, you could see she had a George Foreman type style, very relaxed. She was parrying with the right hand and shooting a really dangerous left hook. She was a well skilled and probably as good a operator in the women's game as I've seen in terms of skill level. So relaxed and able to sort of see things coming. It was actually quite nice to see a female fighter holding their feet and actually looking to hit hard. I really did like that, and I found that quite refreshing. And it's something that I think Chantelle and the other ladies need to pick up on. If you watch Chantelle when she fights, a lot of her punches and a lot of the female fighters, even Katie to a certain extent, Taylor, they throw a lot of punches and there are a lot of arm punches. They lack a lot of torque because they're firing with speed rather than with power. I mean, one of the reasons why the female fighters are struggling to get knockouts and hurt their opponents, especially if you look at the backgrounds of most of the ladies headlining on Sky, they are amateur standouts. So they've come through the Irish or Great Britain programs. They're taught to be in and out fighting at amateur style. And because of this 10-2s stipulation in the rules, it means that these ladies are still fighting amateurishly in respects that they're trying to hit and not get hit. They're unable to sort of take their time and bed into a fight to then land the better quality shots. Araujo, I believe, the reason why she was willing to hold her feet, even though she was a good amateur, I don't think, was prepared to go for the 20 minutes, the 10-2s. I think she was looking to get a knockout, hence why she had the Reyes gloves on. She was punching with mean intentions. She knew she wasn't conditioned to go that long. She had that extra bit of weight and was hoping that she could land a hard shot in order to take Cameron out. But as I say, with regards to the British ladies and the Irish ladies, what you're finding is that as they're fighting, they're coming over their front foot a lot. So you see quite a lot last night. Chantelle would fall over to try and get in, throw 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, and instead of actually being able to come in off that jab, feint, come in, and then step it to, and the only time she could really land quality hard shots with torque and really turn into the punches is to the body, and that's because, like being on the heavy bag, they're able to turn their hips into the punches, and that's where they can do the most damage. Is really where they feel like they're getting more purchase in their punches. Whereas when they go into the head, there's still it's quite a common theme in the women's game. They're just not getting the punches to the head off because they're not setting them up enough and putting their feet into position and setting themselves to be able to get those shots off. It's just something that the female game has to come to terms with. I don't think they're being helped by the 10-2s, but I do think at some point, the ladies are going to have to start being able to. And I mean, one of the only ladies I've seen that actually on these shores that actually does, and she's much maligned, but I don't think she deserves any discredit because I think she's actually a decent fighter in her own right, is Shannon Courtney. I think she actually tries to slip and counter, and she holds her feet a little bit more. I think if these ladies were able to get that, just hold their feet and find that balance, I think it would make for much more entertaining bouts. But overall, Chantelle deserved it. She boxed really well, and I'm looking forward to seeing her again in some much more bigger fights.